Hello, friends. My name is Alalana, and I enjoy playing simulation games. We are here with the game called Eco, and we are on the world called Beta Z of a KOS. That would be Catherine of Sky and Calidorn now. And I am going to explore the wonderful world of farming with you. Okay, so with farming, you are going to want to not be farmer, actually. What comes with the beginning of the game under farming, I believe, yes, farming, is gathering. Gathering is the farming thing. So it is kind of being a farmer since it's under the profession of farmer gathering. But what you're going to want first as a new farmer coming onto a new server is Grassland Gatherer. Here you're going to be able to harvest all of the main seeds: tomatoes, wheat, corn, beets, and camas. Camas is the other one, yeah. And it's also going to give you the ability to harvest acorns, which are the best trees to plant, being the oaks, because they give you a better return on your investment for planting. Other things that you want to go into are going to be the forest forager. You can do the wetlands wanderer. You're really only going to pull rice with that because the mushrooms really don't have any value at this point. And the prickly pears give you a lot of seeds, regardless of whether or not you have Desert Drifter. The only other thing that I would say it would be a good idea to invest points in once you have some extra points would be the Tundra Traveler for the fireweed shoots. But those are early game things. You really don't need the fireweed shoots mid game or even end game. Because they're really just good for the boiled shoots that cooks make. So may or may not want to put points into that, but definitely want to try and get points into that, though it's not really that necessary. Another thing that I really like to have is the scythe efficiency. Now, there aren't a lot of plants that you scythe. You can scythe rice, but it's not necessary. You can also pick it up with the E key, which is the collect key. But you do scythe wheat. And wheat is an all eco long produce. So you're definitely going to need to scythe. And also, once you get the scythe efficiency, it does allow you to harvest plant fibers, which again are an entirely the whole game kind of item. So farming itself, you can get the hoe efficiency, which I think is kind of valuable. In fact, I'm just going to throw a few points into that right now because I'm going to be hoeing, which gives me a decrease in my calorie consumption when I'm using the hoe. I do use it because, you get random blocks, and I'll show you later, random blocks that while you're in the middle of harvesting will just randomly turn into grass or some other fantastic thing where you have to dig it up and then rehoe. So that is a valuable skill as a farmer as well. But that's basically it in order to be a farmer. You really don't need anything else as far as skills go. However, knowing your map and understanding your map and living and breathing through your map, that is really important. Now, there are a couple of layers in the world that do help. One, though, that doesn't really help, that looks like it should, is fertile ground. If you choose fertile ground, it will highlight your lovely map and tell you where fertile ground is. And if you look, it basically shows you everywhere that dirt lives. Hey, dirt, are you fertile? Yes, you are. It's good that dirt is fertile. Especially this grassland area is definitely a very fertile area. Maybe somewhere around these little cliffy poos is not exactly fertile. And definitely sand. You can't plant anything in sand. So fertile ground seems like it should be good. Not so much. What you really want to look at are the last things. They are going to be the yield potentials. Now, in this particular area, Let me just show you because it is grassland. Where are you, grassland? Yes, grassland biome. This area is pretty much all grassland biome. The area that I'm standing in right now. And that biome, you're going to plant wheat, corn, camas, beets, and tomatoes in. Those are going to be your grassland biomes. And again, you can look and see what is in your biome by coming into Grassland Gatherer and seeing the benefits that it gives you once you spec into it. And that will tell you everything that grows well in that area. Okay, so let's look at the heat map for wheat. We'll start there. Hello, wheat. Where are you on my list? Very bottom. Awesome. Okay, so this shows you where wheat has the best potential to grow. And look at that. It even tells you it can grow on the sand. Now, if you put a little bit of dirt on that sand right there, you can grow wheat, but it's a little touchy and maybe not the best. So I have this little beautiful speck of wheat growing potential area, and I think maybe we should go over and plant some wheat on it. So what I'm going to do is open the left side menu here, and I'm going to drop a marker. Now I want to make sure that I am in the center-ish of that area. I'm going to drop this marker, and I can give it a name by looking in the world, and it'll pull up, so I can type in and I could say wheat. And then that will give me a name for this marker, and you can see the little checkbox here, and I can check it off, and I can check it on, and check it off, and check it on. Probably not that much because the computer doesn't like that. But you can even see it in the distance now, and I know that I can run over there and start planting that wheat. But I don't want to jump the gun here because I'm in a huge grassland biome, and I know that I can get these other things planted. So I am going to go over here to corn potential. Corn potential. Hello, corn. Okay, corn potential, it's going to be kind of in the same area. You notice there's really not a lot. There's a little hot spot here, but there's a bigger hot spot here. So I'm just going to focus on this area. And no, I don't want that marker. Please delete that marker. And I'm just going to come over here to the left-hand side, unnamed marker, and delete it. And refocus. So I get in the right spot. Drop the marker. Still not in the right spot. Ah! Okay. A little more sensitive there. There we go. That is a much better thingamahoodger. Oh, look, I can just click on it over here. Okay, that's so much even better. Corn. And I can even change the color of it if I want to, but I really don't want to because it's got a hyperlink. I don't really need to worry about that. So I've got corn and wheat. And what's my next guy? My next guy, let's look for camas. And of course, it doesn't hold your place. You have to scroll down anyway. Ugh, it drives me nuts. Camas yield potential. Camas is definitely going to be in a different area. Ooh, I really like this area, but that's where my trees are. So I'm going to avoid that area, and I'm going to come over here. It's basically the area that I'm standing on, which is quite nice. Drop that marker in a better place. I want it to be in a better place. That's a better place. Okay. Unnamed marker. Camas. And again, that'll hyperlink. So I'll be able to highlight over that and see, you know, what camas bulbs do. So what's my next thing? Beets. Beets are an end game-ish thing. I've often found that I will end up overproducing beets. So I don't usually like to plant a whole bunch. Beet yield potential is very sad in this region, and I already have a big plant of beets over here, so I am not going to worry about planting beets. But when you get things like this, you know, it's grassland, you know you should be able to plant it here. You can further explore. And I have a feeling we're going to come up here anyway. because it's off my little road. So what I'm going to do is plop a little marker right here in this moderately good place to plant beets. And I drop my marker. Of course, I'm going to get it in the wrong place. Refocus. Why? Okay. No, that was too much. Okay. That's better. Beets. Alright. My little beety poos. Tomato. Tomatin. Right. Alright, and then we're not going to plant all of these together here on this particular episode. I just want to show you how to get yourself set up. Wow, that's a great place. Okay, we're definitely going to take that little maca. Wow, okay. Hey, I thought maybe I would get it on that time, but no. No, that's still not right. That's better. Okay, let's delete this guy and name this one Tomato. Okay. And then so on and so forth with all the other ones. Now, the other ones are in either their own specific biome or conglomerated together. So prickly pears, definitely going to be in the desert only. It's our only real desert produce for cooking needs, that is. And then we have a big plotch of it here already. Now, the thing about prickly pears is that they're like huckleberries. Once you plant them, you can harvest from that same plant over and over and over and over. So it's not necessary, really, to plant a whole big field of them. I mean, I've got 100 seeds here, but that's because they give off seeds like huckleberries. Prickly pear. I think I spelled that right. Yes, I did. So we'll go over there and we'll take a look at that because I think that's important. If there's a whole bunch of prickly pear plants already, claim the space as yours so that you can harvest them, and you don't have to worry about somebody else, coming through and getting your schedule knocked off. But the prickly pears will already be there, so you just need to go through and harvest what's there already. And like I said, again, we will look at that. Now, the next one I was going to look at are the fireweed yield potentials, because they're going to be in the snowy biome. Tundra, that's right. Okay, and there's a really great one here on my little path that I made. Let me just drop this little marker and put this down as fireweed, and we'll just run by them. A lot of the times with fireweed, you actually don't really need to plant. You can selectively harvest, and we'll talk about selective harvesting when I come up through the fireweed here. Let's see. Oh, and the last type of plant that I was going to talk about is the wetlands biome. A wetland biome. Let's just highlight that. That is really not giving us a lot of accurate information. Wow. Okay. So it says this is all wetland biome here. It's tiered area. It looks like a lot of it, though, is not wetlands, that it's desert. And wetlands and desert can get really mixed up in together, as well as with forest, but this area should actually be reflecting as wetland. Let me just show you here the Fern Potential, because that is why I have that road. And this is the Fern Potential, and ferns do grow in the wetlands biome. Not according to what this says. No, wait, ferns grow in the forest biome. Am I lying to you people? I love that. I'm lying already. Forest biome. Yeah, I'm lying. It's the forest biome. I don't know why I get those two mixed up all the time. Rice grows in the Wetlands biome. Oh, I need to learn my own things. Isn't that lovely? Come here. Okay. Forest forager. Beans. Ferns. Huckleberries. Yes. Okay. I'm talking out my bum. Okay. Anyway. Forest. Biome. Ferns. Huckleberries. Not so happy, but huckleberries really just grow anywhere. And they give off so many huckleberries. And then beans. And beans are an early game thing. However, beans are also mid game because you need them for the wild stews. That's a really good place for beans. I'm going to drop a maca. Drop a maca. Hello, beans. Beans. Okay. All right, so that is all of the plant types other than the trees themselves. And let's start taking a look at planting and what goes into planting. Now, the camas I already have a lot of, so I'm going to focus on the wheat. And here is my little wheat potential area because you can see the marker. Don't worry about getting right on the spot. You're not going to. You just want to get it within the spot. And then pay no attention to me doing this little thing here. All right, so you will need a marker in order to plant an effective plot. And the other thing that I recommend for early game, because you're not going to have the soil sampler where you can click on the ground and the ground will tell you, you know, how happy the thing is there or not. And this is the number you're looking at. You're going to look at this 94% match. You want it to be green here. You don't want it to be yellow or red. Definitely not red because it will die. Yellow will... You're likely to lose a lot of your produce if it's yellow. So you want to keep it in the green. But the marker, and Octavio, my friend Octavio, is the one who told me all about this. Within the marker, you're going to get the same yield potential for all the plants that you plant within one marker. For the early game, though, you're going to want to pull your map up again. Click to follow player. Yes, there we go. You're going to want to bring back the wheat potential because that's where we're looking at right now is wheat. And you're going to want to show in the world. Now, when you show this in the world, it is going to eat up a lot of your computer. Don't worry about it. You're not going to use it for long. You just want to make sure that when you're choosing an area, you're in the lightest potential that you possibly can. And let me just move off of that, move back on. That way we can see our space. Now, this looks like it's going to be a great space because it doesn't have an edge where you're kind of falling off on either side. So we're going to go ahead and start here. And I recommend having your hoe close to where your stake is, your claim stake, because then you're just going to clip over to that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Check it. Yes, I'm on that corner. I'm going to go to the opposite corner and drive back towards that corner. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Riveting television, I know this is. Back to this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from here, you're not going to have to use that marker because you're going to know all your edges are already done. It's like a good haircut, you know? You got to have good edges. Okay, now that I've got the plot done, I can go in. Ooh, look, I really did pick a great plot. Okay, I can go in, move my wheat to wheat seeds, that is, to the hotbar. And then I learned this from KOS. I'm highlighting and just right clicking to plant. And as you see, it pops right off. Let me just turn the brightness up so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm just highlighting and moving and planting, right clicking, and it's all planted. Super quick. The hoeing part is not the quick part, but you're not going to have a soil sampler in the beginning. Knowing that you planted it in the yellow spot means that you are going to get a good yield. But if we look at this, we can see that this location is 100% matched for this wheat. Great moisture and temperature, 100%, and the wheat has enough space. It's not crowded. And that, a lot of people go, oh, it always shows crowded. It doesn't always show crowded. If you get the right spot, it's not going to show crowded. And I will give you a couple of, yep, see, 100%. 100%. This entire block is going to be 100% because the yield potential is the same within the same space of a claim marker. Okay? And then you would do the same for the corn and the camas and anything else that you can think of for, what was I saying? Squirrel! Anything else that you're going to want to plant in early game. Just go with that, one block. You're not going to see the potential. Sometimes you'll see like corn out in the wild and you'll think, hey, is this corn? This must be a great place for corn. I should be able to grow corn here. And you look and you see it looks fully mature. So you're thinking, maybe this would be a great place for corn. And you're not sure. And you check the map. And let's see, yield potential for corn. Corn. There you are, my corn. And yeah, it kind of looks like a great place. But you're not sure? Pick it. I got 8 corn off of that. 8 corn is a good yield for corn. How about this one? 8 corn and 4 seeds. If it gives you seeds, it's really in a great place. So that would be a great potential place to plant. Let's go a little further outside of what looked like the good potential. And how much will this one give me? 6 corn. 6 corn is definitely less than you're getting from a corn that's in a good location. So the corn that's in a good location, you're going to get 8 out of. A corn that's in a bad location, you're going to get less out of. 76% match. Current yield is 4. I should get, wait, was that? Yeah, it's 100% maturity. So I should get 8 out of that. Yes, because it was green. Super green. Okay, how about you? Here we go. A yellow one. Current yield 3 and 6 corn. So things that are in the green are going to give you a bigger yield. And that's how you see what would give you a good yield without the soil sampler, because you're not going to have that soil sampler in the beginning of the game. It takes a long time to get to because it's not a necessary thing, and I believe that comes from fertilizers. And you have to train up into that and whatnot. Okay, here's the prickly pear, and you can see all of these bushes already exist. There's really no reason for you to do anything other than cultivate an already existing area. There's no need to plant prickly pears because you're not going to need that many. Cooks really don't use them that much. But if you have an area like this and you just cultivate and you make sure to cut out the bushes, I think you have to dig them. Yes, dig. If you cut out the bushes and give them all the space, then you will, they will continue to propagate themselves. And all you have to do is come by and pick them, I think. Okay, let me, this is 100% match. Okay, I probably cannot pick them up. Just pop a couple of things in this little carty poo. Okay, so I received 4 prickly pear fruits. And then how long does it take? 8.4 hours. And it starts at 50% maturity. And that's because the plant is already existing. It doesn't have to grow. All right, it's awesome. I'm just going to eat those prickly pears. And no, I just put them in here. Great. Eat them. Oh yeah, that's going to wreck my skill points, but that's okay. Oh, there's a little baby one. Let's look at the baby one. Hello, baby one. 48. So 8.8 hours to max. So that one is almost grown up. Like I said, they propagate themselves. Not necessary to plant them as long as you have a fair number of them on your server. So let's go over here and take a look at the, what was it? It wasn't beans, it was beets. I wanted to look at that area for beets. I know I have a path around here somewhere. It's not necessary. Oh, look at the beautiful world. Exploring by jumping and hopping. Buffalo. I really can't avoid it. I can't avoid it. I have to ride the buffalo. Hello, Mr. Buffalo. You need to be ridden. Yes, buffalo riding! I love riding buffaloes. Okay, here's my little path. Okay, so I have made this little path here, and I have already selectively groomed the fireweeds. I could plant some fireweeds, but really, to be honest, if you just go through and you select every other one, you just want to be ridden, buffalo. I know you do. Yay! Ride the buffalo! Okay, back to the serious things. Fireweeds will just propagate themselves again. It's really not necessary to plant them, but if you do want to plant them, again, you want to find one that gives you a high yield when you're chopping them down. Use your little marker and plant within that marker. Same for most of the other plants. So, okay, off of this. And this here is my cute little fern patch, and you can see that I have planted this cute little patch within one big square. Actually, I think it's 4. And then they give a really high yield. They're really not necessary, but on our server, Caledorn quite likes them. Also with the huckleberries, as long as you are growing them in a large area or cultivating them within a large area, and by cultivating I mean not specifically going out of your way to grow them, but allowing them to live in the area by cutting down the salal. Oh, I don't need any ferns. Thank you so much. If you cut down the salal, it will allow the edibles to grow in. And early game, really, that's all you really want to do. Okay, so let's wander back over to the wheat, because wheat is quite valuable, and wheat is going to get you all the way through the game. You're going to need it at the beginning, you little buffalo. Oh, little buffalo! Yes, we're going to ride that buffalo all the way back to the wheat. I'm just kidding. It's not going to go back that far. But wheat's going to get you through the entire game. And it's going to give you a lot of value. As a farmer, you don't really sell your products for very high on a multiplayer server. Excuse me. You don't really sell your products for a very lot of money on a multiplayer server, and farming can sometimes be the underpaid profession, but wheat is a great investment. You are going to be harvesting it through the entire game. So you're not going to find a lot of areas with the same yield potentials. Excuse me, let me turn that brightness back down. Whew. Okay, that's good. So once you find an area and start planting it out, okay, I'm not gonna get to ride the buffalo before I get to my wheat, am I? No, ride the buffalo. Anyway, here is one of my wheat areas, and it is 100% ready to harvest. This area has been used quite a bit, so when we look at the overlay, you will see that the potential has gone down in this area. Let's see, where is wheat potential? Yeah, you can see. I think it can be improved with fertilizer, but I'm not talking about fertilizer this time. I might revisit this particular area in a future video, just exploring fertilizer, because I really don't know that much about it. But you can see that this area that I've planted, and I've harvested wheat here many times, is not going to give me the fullest benefit for my wheat. However, it's so much wheat that even with the lack of potential in this area, I'm still going to get quite a bit of wheat out of this. Current yield is 5, location 100%. Excuse me, once more. Tickle. And I'm probably going to get 10 out of each one of these. Let me just pull that little guy. I'm not going to get anything out of it because I have to put my cart down. Hello, little cart. And let me just pop all this stuff in my cart. And these are just the different types of seeds. There are 3 of our produce items that don't come in seed form and are really hard to plant. With the fast planting that I do, don't use that with camas, beans, and rice. Because if you use that, click, 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 with these, you'll end up eating them. And it'll knock off your food points. If you see I ate those prickly pears, they're going to stay in my stomach for a really long time, and they are going to not give me a good multiplier, which, it's okay. I'm not worried about it. I never really go for a lot of skill points. Oh, I'm not aggressive that way. Anyway. Okay, so let us harvest this entire field. This is going to be boring. Wish we could set this to some music. I can sing you the wheat harvesting song. Wheat harvesting song. No, I won't do that anymore. That was probably not the best idea. And you can see I'm getting 10 out of most of these. Now, I think I saw... Was this one outside of the potential area? That's what I want to show you now. Mappy Poo. Give me that potential area back, please. Okay, sorry about that. You've been maybe noticing that I've been having a lot of trouble here with lag. That is because this is a mining area. See this little crossy poo right here? That is my mine. I am doing other things with that. But let's get back to the farming. I'm going to take the property off, show those layers again. for this wheat. And let's see. Okay. What I want to find is a piece of wheat that's outside of this red zone that is my current stuff. I think this one will do. Let's take a look at that. Yes, current yield 6, which is the best yield, is 6. With your efficiency, you're going to get more than 6 out of it. That is if you have the efficiency. And that gave me 12 wheat. You can see that right down here. So 12 wheat is the highest. 10 wheat, it's not so bad, to be honest. To be very honest with you, not so bad. Okay, and this is what I was talking about before, by the way. Let me just take that little Larry pooping off. This is what I was talking about before. When you harvest a field, they will pop up. All these, if you harvest it, they will come. So this is where having possibly digging and the hoeing efficiency comes in, because you're going to have to re-hoe these areas that where the grass pops up, and it goes so fast. You know, 1 minute you will be going, and then the next minute it will be gone. So I'm just going to harvest up all of this wheat, and I just want to know if you have any additional questions or comments or concerns about the information that I provided here. Please enjoy farming in Eco. It is a challenge, and it is fun, I think, because not only do you get to participate in the game as far as being a supplier for the needs of a community, you get to participate in something that lasts through the entire game. And I don't know, I've found being a farmer quite fun, because I get to pursue other things, other enjoyments along with the farming, such as making plants for mods and, you know, spending skill points in other areas. I don't know. But as a farmer, you can have these skills to begin the game, and then move on to something that you find to be more intriguing. Well, thank you so much for joining me here, and I hope that you have a lovely day wherever you are. And look into Eco, look into farming, join us, have a chat. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please leave a like and or a comment.